When an INFJ does this, it's over. INFJs are known for their deep emotional investment in people, their unwavering loyalty, and their strong moral compass. They give endlessly to those they care about, often at the cost of their own well-being. But what happens when an INFJ stops caring? What does it mean when someone who was once so deeply connected begins to pull away? This is not a momentary phase, it's a sign of something much deeper. Today, we're diving into the unmistakable signs that an INFJ has stopped caring, why it happens, and what it means for those involved. Stay until the end because we're revealing powerful insights that will change the way you understand the INFJ mind. Let's begin. 1. The emotional withdrawal begins. INFJs are emotionally intense people. When they care, they are fully invested, but when they stop caring, the first thing you will notice is a gradual but undeniable emotional withdrawal. Conversations that once felt deep and engaging become shallow or non-existent. The INFJ no longer lights up at your messages or invests in your struggles. This isn't a passive-aggressive move, it's a survival instinct. INFJs naturally absorb emotions from those around them, so when they detach, it's a sign that their emotional well-being has been compromised for too long. If you've been venting about your problems to an INFJ and they used to offer deep insights and emotional support but now only respond with a simple, "That's tough," or, "I see," they may be emotionally checking out. If you suspect an INFJ is withdrawing, pause and reflect. Have you been giving as much as you've been receiving? INFJs need mutual emotional reciprocity, not just a one-way emotional dump. 2. Their signature patience runs out. INFJs are patient to a fault. They forgive and endure long after others would have walked away. But when they reach their limit, their patience vanishes. No more second chances, no more explanations. When an INFJ stops tolerating behavior they once excused, it's a clear indication they have mentally moved on. If they used to listen to your repetitive excuses or toxic behavior but now simply state, "I don't have time for this," or "I'm not interested in discussing this again," they have reached their emotional limit. Don't take their patience for granted. If an INFJ expresses discomfort or frustration, acknowledge it and make real changes before it's too late. 3. They stop explaining themselves. INFJs often feel the need to justify their actions, especially when they care. They want to be understood and ensure they aren't hurting anyone unintentionally. But once they stop caring, they stop explaining. They no longer feel the need to clarify why they are acting differently because, in their mind, it no longer matters. If you notice that instead of giving you long messages explaining their feelings, they simply say, "I'm done," or "It is what it is," they have emotionally checked out. If an INFJ has been over-explaining in the past, listen carefully before they reach the point where they no longer feel the need to explain at all. 4. They no longer feel guilty for prioritizing themselves. INFJs struggle with guilt when they prioritize themselves over others. However, when they reach the point of emotional detachment, they finally embrace self-care without guilt. If an INFJ who used to bend over backward for you suddenly starts saying no unapologetically, they have likely reached a breaking point. They used to help you even when it inconvenienced them. Now, they say, "I can't," without feeling the need to provide a reason. Respect their boundaries. If an INFJ starts saying no, don't push them to explain. Instead, recognize that they are finally choosing themselves. 5. They stop reaching out first. INFJs often initiate conversations and check in on the people they care about. But when they stop reaching out, it's a major red flag. They have likely realized that their effort is one-sided, and they are no longer willing to carry the weight of the relationship alone. If they used to text first and ask how your day was but now only respond when you message them, they may have emotionally detached. If an INFJ stops reaching out, take a step back and consider if you have been equally invested. Start showing them they matter before they walk away completely. 6. Their interest in your life diminishes. INFJs naturally invest in others' lives, remembering small details and offering thoughtful advice. When they stop caring, they no longer engage deeply or show interest in what's happening with you. They used to remember your important dates or life events but now don't acknowledge them. Show genuine interest in their life too. Relationships require balance. 7. Their intuition becomes selective. INFJs are highly intuitive, picking up on unspoken emotions. But when they stop caring, they shut this ability down to protect themselves from emotional exhaustion. If they once sensed your emotions before you even spoke but now seem distant, they may be shielding themselves. If an INFJ disengages, respect their need for space. 8. They start keeping their thoughts to themselves. INFJs love deep conversations and meaningful exchanges. But when they stop caring, they no longer feel the urge to share their inner world with you. They become closed off, keeping their insights, dreams, and reflections to themselves. If they used to open up about their struggles and thoughts but now respond with vague or short answers, they have emotionally distanced themselves. Encourage open dialogue, but don't pressure them to talk. Make them feel safe to share again. 9. They no longer offer emotional support. INFJs are natural counselors and supporters, but when they stop caring, they stop offering their usual emotional guidance. If they used to listen attentively and provide thoughtful insights but now seem indifferent to your struggles, they have detached. If you've relied on their emotional support without giving back, acknowledge their exhaustion and offer mutual support. 10. They become indifferent to conflicts. INFJs usually seek resolution, but when they stop caring, they no longer engage in conflicts. They simply walk away. If they used to work through problems with you but now say, "Do whatever you want," they're done emotionally. Pay attention to their disengagement and address issues before they give up entirely. 11. They no longer make time for you. INFJs prioritize people they care about. If they stop making time for you, it's a sign they no longer see the relationship as important. If they always made time for deep talks but now avoid interactions, they're moving on. Show appreciation for their time and invest equally in the relationship. 12. They remove you from their inner circle. INFJs have an extremely selective inner circle. If you were once someone they confided in, shared their deepest thoughts with, and trusted implicitly, but now find yourself on the outside, this is a strong indication they have stopped caring. INFJs do not remove people lightly, but when they do, it is a permanent decision. If they used to share their dreams, fears, and personal struggles with you but now only engage in surface-level conversations, or worse, avoid conversations altogether, it's a clear sign they no longer see you as part of their close-knit world. If an INFJ has pulled back, don't push your way back in. Instead, take accountability for any actions that may have led to their withdrawal, show consistency, and let them decide if they want to re-establish trust. 13. They no longer react to your emotional manipulation. INFJs are highly empathetic and can often be guilt-tripped or manipulated by people who take advantage of their kindness. However, when they stop caring, they become immune to emotional manipulation. If you once had an influence over their emotions but now they respond with indifference, this is a sign they have detached completely. If you used to get an emotional reaction from them when you played the victim or tried to guilt-trip them, but now they just respond with a calm, "Okay," or "That's your choice," they have mentally and emotionally checked out. Recognize whether you have been engaging in manipulative behavior, consciously or unconsciously. INFJs respect sincerity and integrity. If you want to mend the relationship, approach them with honesty and accountability. 14. They completely disappear from your life. When an INFJ is done, they are done. Unlike other types who may leave the door open for reconciliation, INFJs rarely return once they've made their final decision. If they have cut all ties, stopped responding, and completely disappeared from your life, it means they no longer see any value in maintaining a connection. If they used to check in on you, follow your social media, or keep in touch but now have erased all traces of interaction, they have moved on completely. If an INFJ has walked away entirely, respect their decision. They do not leave people lightly. If you truly care, reflect on what led to their departure, grow from it, and if the opportunity ever arises in the future, approach them with genuine change rather than expectations. When an INFJ start doing these things, it's not a whim or a fleeting emotion. It's a result of deep emotional exhaustion, unmet needs, and a realization that their energy is better spent elsewhere. If you have an INFJ in your life and you recognize these signs, it's time to take a step back and reflect. Have you been taking their patience for granted? Have you given as much as you've received? If an INFJ has already checked out, understand that it is nearly impossible to bring them back. But if you catch the warning signs early, genuine effort, communication, and change can help rebuild the bridge before it's too late. If this video resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Have you ever experienced an INFJ detaching from your life? Or, if you're an INFJ, have you ever had to walk away because you simply had nothing left to give? Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep diving deeper into the INFJ psyche. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.